Morning, friends. Sunrise again, and opportunity to breathe in some of the peace that naturally comes as night shifts today, and maybe even an opportunity to kind of decide how you want your day to go, or your week. I guess it's not only sunrise on a new day, but on a new week today. And I think that presents itself some unique space. So I've been thinking about, we've often talked in this little cast about when things are hard, and when anxiety is intense, and when chaos consumes, and allowing ourselves to feel those things. It's not popular. It's not fun. It's also not very sort of American of us to talk about and feel our feelings. We're supposed to be tough, and pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and all that kind of nonsense. So what has occurred to me this week, though, is I think that conversation requires more attention because it's so unpopular. But also, it's not a place you want to stay stuck forever, because there are good things too. There are brilliant sunrises that happen every day. There are friendships and new life happening, and lots to be thankful and grateful for. And it occurred to me this week that feel that too, because I think that it can almost become a defense mechanism, if we actually allow ourselves to become acquainted with all the hard feelings. And there's huge value in that, and not denying that. And let it not be all that we feel. Let us not sort of poison the good moment because we know it doesn't last. Or sort of preemptively grieve tomorrow's potential sorrow. It won't protect us from it, and it just lengthens it. And in fact, prevents us from being that kind of fully embodied, present version of ourselves today. And this is even a scriptural idea. The whole concept of Jesus, right, is that it's this embodiment. Incarnation is the word of the divine. And I think Paul gets us confused sometimes. Paul, the apostle who wrote so much of scripture, because the way that it's most commonly interpreted, some of his lines about sort of feel like the flesh and the spirit are at war. But I really think, and a lot of scholars think, that that's sort of a misinterpretation. That when he talks about the spirit and the flesh, he really means the ego and the spirit. That there's the way this world expects us to live, and the way our protective mechanisms and coping skills and all of that expect us to live. And then the sort of freedom that God, that divine, that spirit is calling us into. And it's really more of a Platonic, Plato, who really emphasized this idea that, that the spirit is all good and right, and that flesh and this world is all bad and wrong. And it's just not that simple. And if anything, the example of Jesus is to bring those together. It's a pretty beautiful sunrise happening in the midst of this conversation. So today, I hope that you can follow in Jesus' footsteps and feel your feelings. Some of them may not be pleasant. Some of them are wonderful and beautiful and good. And the full, lived, fully incarnated, fully alive experience is all of them. So feel this too. And may you have serenity and peace and sort of a quiet sense of okayness. That none of those feelings define who you really are, but all of them are part of the miraculous experience of being alive. Grace and peace, friends.